Hi, Caitlin.
Thank you for taking a minute to talk to me, hopefully on a regular basis, to answer some of the community's questions. I just, as an intro, NDI exists to serve the community, and there's a lot of times where we're holding such big calls that maybe answering or asking questions isn't the most comfortable for everyone. So hopefully we put out this form and people will just continue to ask you questions, and we'll do little impromptu casual interviews to help get them answered. My first question for you is, what has changed for you since COVID-19 has taken off? Because I'm doing all these interviews with our affiliates right now on how their work has changed. I figured a good intro question just from me to you is, what has your work done? How has it changed since COVID?
I think our work has changed in that we're doing the same kinds of things. We are helping the digital inclusion practitioners on the ground to share with each other. The listserv is a good, fabulous example of that. And then we're also doing the policy work. I think the exact things we're trying to do have changed, and the urgency has changed, right? So we are now working on federal funding for the local digital inclusion programs through the stimulus bills. The first one was 10% successful. We asked for 500 million, we got 50 million. Okay, claim success when you can. And now there's the next stimulus bill. So working on that. Those, along with all the other resources, the free and low cost offers, and also trying to make those better, it's all very urgent. So I think that's a big way that our work has changed, and it's the same on the ground, right? Where folks are like, we got to figure this out right now.
Right.
Yeah, so now that we're into, for us is week 4, I am taking more time for myself than I did the first 3 weeks. And hopefully NDIA staff and community are doing the same.
Yeah, so far. Every day is a different day, though.
Every day is different, yes.
So we have 3 questions submitted by people in the community. All of them are anonymous. So the first one is, when this crisis winds down, who do you think will assume leadership for digital equity in states and nationally?
So there is an assumption there that with the increased awareness that we have, because we are all experiencing way increased awareness around the digital divide, that there will be more work done, maybe even more resources. And so who does that work is really who steps up to do that work. In some states, you can already see who that is. You can see nonprofit computer refurbishers stepping up. You can see certain digital inclusion organizations changing how they do their work in order to be relevant during this crisis. You can see state broadband offices getting more engaged in making sure everybody has access, even if it's an affordability issue. And before, sometimes those broadband offices were only doing work around whether or not that broadband was available to be subscribed to. So we're seeing it now, and there's an opportunity for lots of folks to step in and be those leaders now before those resources are available.
Yeah. I guess my own personal follow-up question to it would be, do you think that the national recognition that is happening now, I mean, it started with the Digital Equity Act before the pandemic, but now the pandemic has caused such a spotlight for digital inclusion. Do you think that'll continue after, or do you think once the pandemic starts to settle, the federal government's going to keep moving, right, and keep looking at other?
So that's a good question. I think it is the job of all of us to make sure that we don't lose that, which is why it's necessary for local programs to be doing the things that you feel like you don't really have time to do now, which is talking to elected officials, talking to the media, talking to other community partners to make sure they know about the work that you're doing now, and then those relationships will last beyond, and hopefully then that awareness is connected to all of that.
The second question I have for you is we have dozens of old laptops and 3 internet kits with mobile hotspots and a Chromebook in each backpack. How can we make these available to the public when no one in the state is allowed to work at their library?
So this is where there's some innovation going on across the U.S. and it is possible. So we can learn from the nonprofit refurbishers who have worked out fabulous processes for getting their computers into people's homes during this health crisis when we're all supposed to stay 6 feet away and we're not supposed to touch things other people have touched. So the way that has been explained to me, this particular example came from Crandon Institute, which is in Raleigh-Durham area. The way they do it, they have 15-minute blocks of time. And so a family will call ahead of time, make arrangements that they're going to pick up a computer. Staff puts the computer outside the warehouse at the allotted time. That family comes by, picks it up. The staff goes out, cleans off the cart, and loads it with the next one. There's no reason that can't also be happening with equipment that libraries have to get it into people's homes. It won't be the exact same process, but it can be a process where safety is taken into account. It just means there's a lot of coordination. And so whereas you may have been able to serve a lot of folks much more quickly, it's going to take longer to get it out. But I think this is where the heroes step in, right? We can't just throw our hands up and be like, well,
yeah,
I can't leave the building. Right? Or I can't even go into the building. Well, you could go into the building if you're the only one in the building, or if you're 6 feet from the other person in the building and everybody's carrying around wipes and hand sanitizer and you're being super careful and there's an exact process to what you do, you can do it. And it is being done across the country and across the world even. And those who figure it out, they are heroes. I don't really think I'm being extreme in any way by saying folks who figure that out are saving lives. Because if a family can stay in and not go out to purchase groceries because they were able to order them in, not go out to go to the bank, but instead we're able to do their banking through their devices. In all those ways that we can keep people from leaving the home, they can be kept from spreading the virus. They are then able to keep themselves safe and not, end up bringing the virus into their home where someone could. Mortality rates are real with this virus, so staying home is essential. And so folks who figure out how to help other families do that through connectivity are saving lives.
Yeah. There are a few examples that will hopefully come out soon in our Heroes series that other organizations can help pull from and brainstorm off of. How to disinfect, right, sanitize equipment, and then get it out to the people that need it. It takes a few more steps, but there's quite a few people doing it. So we hope
it's impressive.
Lovely. Well, the last question I have for you is a pretty easy one, Angela. It's why are you so awesome? Or what's it like being so awesome?
I think that probably,
that's fine.
I think it has more to do with the awesome folks that we're serving, right? Like, I'm one of those people that I don't feel comfortable talking about myself, but I can talk about you till the cows come home. So this is one of the reasons it's important for us to get great stories from you all, like the process that some of the refurbishers are using, because then we can repeat those and I can talk about how awesome you all are. That's easier for me. So keep sending me those stories.
It makes you look awesome.
It does, but I'm not really doing anything awesome.
I think we're going to get more questions that are really comments. Like, oh, modest Angela, killing it. All right. Well, that is all we have for today, but I will add the link to the Google form with this video. So if you guys have any more questions for Angela, let us know.
Thank you, Kate.